Honda's brought me out to Nashville, Tennessee to drive in this beautiful country. A wonderful car. This is a 2025 newly refreshed Honda Civic Si. While most of it's a carryover from the last few years, some meaningful updates on this 2025 refresh. Let's start with the front end. This front end, from the pictures, it didn't look quite as good in my opinion compared to the pre-refresh. Seeing it in person, it looks a lot better than it does in the photos. Now, we have some revisions here with the headlights. The headlights are exactly the same. Daytime running lights, nighttime lights, exactly the same. This upper grille has been completely reworked. This is blacked out here on the Si, on the Sport Touring and the Sport Hybrids. It's paint matched. And then on the lesser models, it's kind of like this matte color. All right, so we have this matte upper grille, of course, the Si badge. On the Sport Touring model, that's glossy black. And down here below, this is also blacked out. I believe it's paint matched on the Sport Touring models, but again, it's blacked out to match these headlight eyelids. That's what they look like to me, eyelids. Now below that, this portion is all different. It seems like the bumper comes out a little bit more. I think it's an illusion. It's just a little bit, it's got like a chin implant. That's kind of how I see it. It's a little bit wider, a little bit more aggressive. We got a little Gaston going on at the bottom, but the fog lights are gone, all right? Fog lights are no longer an option here on the 25 Civic. The Civic Si also has these brand new 18-inch wheels. And this touch, I just noticed, says Si right here. I didn't notice that until right now. But you can get these with the summer tires, which I want to say is about a $300 option. And then you can get all season tires to save a little bit of money. Just depending on where you live. I live in Florida, so I'd be getting those summer tires. What else? So for 2025, we have some additional improvements for rigidity. So they say that they added a new brace in here to stiffen up the B-pillar area. They also added an additional brace, I think they said behind the seats, which we're not going to be able to see here, but they did increase the rigidity behind the seats. And also, do we have a spare tire? No, just to fix a flat kit. I wasn't going to get too excited, but this is how you fold down the rear seats here. Nothing's changed with the back seat of this vehicle. Still have no vents, still don't have like USBs back there, for example, but very, very roomy back seat. The Civic is best in class, I would still believe, for rear leg room and rear headroom. And remember, the Civic Si is only available as a sedan. Glossy black lip spoiler there. And let's pop the hood. There we go. Nice aluminum lightweight hood. Same engine, same displacement, 192 pound-feet of torque and 200 horsepower. And remember, the Si is exclusively 6-speed manual. Notice the aerodynamic aluminum plate down there at the bottom to smooth out the bottom of the vehicle. But on the strut towers for 2025, they have increased the rigidity there, beefing it up. So overall rigidity has improved across the board, and it has unique tuning here on this Si with the dampers compared to the other models. All right, I think I've said everything I wanted to about the outside. Let's get in the inside and talk about some new additional changes. Seats carry over. They're absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and this pink color, urban gray pearl, it's fantastic. Love this checkered black and red cloth interior. It's great. All right. New 2 USB-Cs. Heated seats finally in the Si. New Google built-in wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I don't believe the wireless aspect is new, but Google built-in is new. I have my Android Auto playing here though. And also new is this fully digital, I think it's around a 10-inch screen that displays our TAC and other information like fuel economy and radio stations, all that good stuff. All right, so let's start driving the new Honda Civic Si. Oh my gosh. And that is why you don't push cars to the uppermost limits on the roads. Unforeseen factors, like that truck coming over the double yellow line mid-turn, makes it awfully sketchy. So pushing it to about 70-80%, is where I'm comfortable out on the streets. And then you have a turkey right there. Like, that turkey could have decided to run in front of the road. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's slow down here. And Natchez Trace Parkway. I could be butchering that name. I'm not from around here, but I have driven these roads before and they're absolutely beautiful. So, Honda Civic Si, absolutely just masterclass. There's no other car for around $30,000, $31,000 that is just as refined, that is just as fun to drive. The Elantra N comes close, but that's getting a little bit more expensive, I believe, at this time. But the Elantra N isn't quite as gentleman-like as this vehicle, and it's also a lot less fuel efficient. So the Honda Civic, undisputed champ for around $31,000 for a fun to drive manual transmission sedan. There's just not a lot out there, and the SI is kind of the GOAT. One of the greatest sports cars of my generation, dating back to 1986. The Civic Si has been around for a ton of generations, and it's the best one ever. Well, of course, it's subjective, right? Everyone has their own favorite, but in terms of refinement and fun to drive, it's hard to beat the new one. I'll just say that. But leaving town, I could tell that it just felt like it was a more solid vehicle. But the weight transfer here out on the streets, like the vehicle, it feels like there's no bend or twist to it. It just feels very, very solid. And what does that mean from a driver perspective? Well, it means your inputs are communicated more properly or more accurately, I should say. And I have a much better understanding of what the tires are doing, all four of the tires. When the vehicle's more rigid, it just feels very glued to the road. And the Civic Si has always felt like that, but it now has taken a step into that more premium sport performance feeling that you get from, let's say, the Germans, for example. It's very, very well done. And if the, let's say, the highway road noise and tire noise was a little bit less in here, this thing would be straight up a premium car. But it drives like a premium car from an enthusiast aspect. And the materials, well, it's a little hit or miss, but the build quality is very luxurious. And for the money, you're getting an extremely well-built and well-performing vehicle. I have played with the steering assist a little bit now. It has been updated. Like, it's really strong, and with these curvy roads, you don't have to do much to steer the car in the right direction. But obviously for sporty driving mechanics, I'm kind of trusting it there. Look at that with all those lines. That's absurd, okay? But for sporty driving, of course, you want to be in control. And here's the thing, I've been in this car for about an hour now. I've gotten much more comfortable with the clutch, the engagement, the smoothness, how to shift smoother, all that good stuff. Doesn't take very long in this car because it's very, oh gosh, trucks like crossing over the double lines today. But it's very easy to learn to drive a manual in this car, but it's also very rewarding to master it. The Civic Si is probably one of my favorite enthusiast cars out there for so many different reasons. I think one of the biggest reasons, doesn't have any weaknesses, and I'm able to maximize this car, all right, if I want to. Right now, like, I'm having a very comfortable and luxurious ride here while getting, you guys, well, you can't see because I took my other camera down, but I'm getting over 38 miles per gallon going through these windy mountain roads. It doesn't punish you. In so many sports cars, unless you're pushing it, it's not always enjoyable to be in. This Si is enjoyable to be in, whether you're just doing a thoughtless commute or if you're ringing it out on mountain roads. It's fun either way, and it's it's such a versatile car. And I always, for me, just my personality, it's more fun to drive a slow car fast. And the SI, in my opinion, it's not a super slow car. It's definitely not a fast car, but it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. And the SI is, I'm having a lot more fun and a better experience in here than cars that have twice the horsepower. Or, you know, you could say I have a better experience here than the Type R, like I said, because the Type R, you just can't utilize the potential of that vehicle in every day. And if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But I mean, I can't ask for much else here in this SI. It just feels so refined, so perfected, so smooth, so rewarding. It's up there with the Mazda MX-5 Miata. Like this, in some ways, feels like the sedan version of a Miata, a much more practical version. Now the Miata still takes the cake for just pure bliss, but this is the more practical option. If you can only afford one car, you have 5 seats in here. Yeah, did the old SIs, or maybe it's the Type R that only has 4 seats. But you have 5 seats in here, tons of space, very roomy, very luxurious feeling, even though it's just like this sporty trim. It feels so good in here. And then you have the auto rev matching downshifts if you want to get a little bit fun with it from time to time. And the exhaust and the engine isn't overly loud or overbearing. And when you're purring around in low RPMs, maximizing that fuel economy, as I'm getting close to 40 mpgs now, it's just a great car to be in at all speeds. I got some freeway driving impressions here. Again, the steering assist is so strong in here, yet very accurate. I don't feel like it's ping-ponging me around, keeps me glued within the lines of the road very nicely. I would say acceptable wind noise here, going about 80. And of course you're gonna have loud tire noise. I feel like I don't have to raise my voice in here to talk to the microphone or talk to a passenger, for example. It's just, you know, you're gonna have that constant tire noise in here, but it's not a luxury car, all right? However, the Civic Sport Touring Hybrid, not the Sport Hybrid, the Touring Hybrid, has active sound control, so it'll take some away that road noise, but it also has, should I say, inbuilt sound control. The wheels have sound deadening properties to them. So I can't wait to take this or that Sport Touring Hybrid for a spin to see, you know, if I have a noticeable reduction in road and tire noise coming up through the bottom of the car. But the SI in here, geez, yeah, it's great. Lots of power. I mean, good enough power for me. Obviously the Type R is going to smoke this, but out on the freeway, it's easy to slot it into the right gear, go into fourth, auto rev match, pedal down, and you're off passing people pretty quick. It picks up speed quick, and they're even going uphill. So man, SI, it's just so good. Such good usable power band, and fun to rev out to with this VTEC turbo. I've tried to summarize this video multiple times, but the more I drive the SI, the more it feels like an old glove just fitting me perfectly. And very few cars do that for me. Very, very few cars are a good match for my personality. It's like an old friend or an old dog, or you know, your old hunting pal, which could be a dog, right? It just feels right, and it feels comforting, and also a great time. So I'm gonna shut it down. I don't think anything else is gonna come to me, or no revelations are gonna come to me and something fun to say about the SI. It's fantastic. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the Civic Hybrid driving impressions.